Girl, y'all see these sideburns I tried to do? What's up, beautiful? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Lisa May, and this is Thinking Beauty, where we dive into all things politics, pop culture, and personal development. This week, I am back with a personal development where I am super excited to dive into the topic of self-talk. Specifically, how to improve your self-talk. Honey, let me tell you, if you are not aware of your self-talk, or if you are struggling with your self-talk, this is definitely the video for you, especially right before the new year, because we cannot take this negative self-talk into 2022. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. Okay, so what is self-talk? So self-talk is the internal dialogue you have with yourself. It's the voice, expression, and output of the subconscious mind. And honey, it speaks loud and clear. So why is self-talk important? Self-talk is important because it influences our mood, our beliefs, and our outcomes. And it can influence it for the better or for the worse. Many people don't think twice about their self-talk, and some think it just is what it is. It's them. Now, this is a cause for concern when our self-talk is highly critical of ourselves and disparaging of ourselves. And we think it just is what it is. It's who we are. Up until recently, I didn't realize that the conversations I was having with myself were pretty unhealthy and undermining. I thought that I was just pushing myself to be great. I didn't realize I had a snarky inner voice that would chide me every time I made a mistake. I thought I was just keeping it real with myself, pushing myself towards excellence. The more I started coming into contact with the concept of self-talk, I started to realize and recognize that my self-talk was pretty negative, snarky, and self-disparaging. And it's important to realize this because our internal dialogue shapes our reality and dictates our responses to that reality. If our dialogue is negative, it makes us more likely to be highly agitated in stressful situations. And if this persists long enough, it can eventually send us down a spiral towards depression, oftentimes killing our productivity. I think this is why we self-sabotage. We begin to believe our negative dialogue and get defeated by it, and it robs us of our intention and motivation. Now, positive self-talk, on the other hand, encourages us. It helps us manage stress and cope with difficult and challenging situations. It helps us to push through challenges and makes us more resilient. It affirms us and makes us believe we can do whatever it is we set out to do. It builds our confidence and motivates us to take action. And it allows us to develop, nurture, and operate in and function out of a growth mindset, where we value sustained effort and growth over talent and perfection. Positive self-talk simply equips us to go further, faster, and more gracefully. But it keeps our emotions in check. This in turn helps us to be more consistent in our outward expression and behavior, more consistent in the daily action we take, particularly toward our goals. Okay, so how can you improve your self-talk? You basically have to reprogram your subconscious mind. Now, you can do this by repeating affirmations, listening to guided meditations, reading and rereading positive books, articles, quotes, etc. Really making a conscious and intentional effort to change your language. Something new that I want to start doing is listening to my own affirmations. So basically recording them, then listening to them every day. I hear that this has a really profound effect on you than simply just repeating affirmations, particularly if you don't put any emotion behind them. You also want to track your negative self-talk. When you catch yourself saying something negative to or about yourself, write it down. Recognize it to be a lie and then reframe it. Okay, so reframe, fancy word. What's that? So reframe is to basically frame or express words or concept or plan differently. And honey, this is a superpower that will change your life. So basically, when you catch yourself starting to have whatever negative thought, you want to turn it around and say the truth of the matter. For example, if you realize you often say, "I'm so stupid, why did I wait so late to do this?" Recognize it's a lie. Like, you're not stupid, and you being late is not indicative of your intelligence. So then turn it around and say something positive that supports both you and your goal. So, for example, you would reframe it and say, I value prudence and punctuality. Therefore, I'm going to take action now to show up on time and ready. That's the way you want to train yourself to talk to yourself, especially if you want to have any kind of resilience and tenacity in building whatever it is you're building and working toward. Okay, now let's recognize first and foremost that this takes effort and intention to build your reframe muscle. And it might feel weird or crazy at first, or even like a lie, but you have to be bold enough to do it and committed enough to stick to it. One of my favorite people on Instagram, she posted a quote a long time ago, and it always stuck with me. It said, someone said I was delusional. I almost fell off my unicorn. It stuck with me because one thing I learned early on in this journey is you have to be crazy enough to believe in your own dreams, especially if you intend to bring them to reality. Because after a while, it's going to feel impossible, like a pipe dream. You doubt you can actually do it because all the things around you point to no. In order to push through that phase, which can last however long it lasts, you have to defy your present reality and believe in something you have no real physical evidence of. And that might seem a little crazy to some, but that's okay. That's why it's clear skies at the top. Many people aren't willing to be crazy or delusional enough to believe in their dreams to get there. But you do, which is why you're here and why you're traveling along with your girl. To wrap up, basically, if you want to have a better outlook on life and a better disposition in it, you have to make a conscious and intentional and strategic effort to talk better to yourself, encourage yourself, and defy reality when you need to. So make it a practice to tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself when your subconscious mind starts screaming out all its negative BS to you. Whatever it tells you to make you doubt yourself or sabotage your efforts. You know, if your subconscious mind tells you you're crazy, you can never do something like that. And that's keeping it cute, because some people's subconscious is vicious, honey. I know. But, you know, if it says that, be delusional enough to laugh at that thought and say to yourself, you are fabulous and capable, darling, and you got this. But the most important thing is to take the time to recognize your negative thoughts and to track them so you can see which thoughts keep coming up. And you can take the time to sit with them, see why you might be having that thought, and then find the truth in that thought that honors your truest intention and make it an affirmation. Train yourself to repeat or say to yourself that affirmation when that thought comes up. And again, I can't overstate the point enough, but be delusional enough to believe that affirmation. You could be as broke as a damn joke, but be delusional enough to believe that you're a millionaire. Or you haven't had a date in 10 years. Be delusional enough to believe you're an excellent wife. Whatever you have affirmed for yourself, believe it. And to take it a step further, and here's where the real magic is, be delusional enough to put in the work to support that affirmation. Go open the bank account. Start taking care of the home, whatever. So to sum it up, simply say nice things to yourself. Believe the nice things you say to yourself, then put in work for those nice things. But yes, beautiful, that is all that I have for you now. You know, hopefully if you were able to identify with anything that I spoke about or found yourself relating to it, hopefully you can, you know, just kind of take these tips and this encouragement and just really challenge yourself to speak better to yourself, have better conversations with yourself. In turn, you'll have better conversations with the people around you, and I truly believe that your life will change. You know, I can honestly say for myself, I can see how I would be a lot further in life if I would have had better self-talk like a long time ago. So yeah, I just really want to encourage you to, you know, dress up your thoughts. As a family vlogger that I used to watch used to say, dress up your thoughts and just, you know, be positive and really encourage yourself and really speak to yourself with intention and purpose and strategically to get to where you're trying to go, okay? Until next time, Lisa May here saying peace, love, and blessings. Oh, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays!